Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy?
Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I'm here with Bill Dawes, waiting for Don Frye and Sean McCorkle to come in. I am coming to you live from Mexico. I don't know how the service is going to be. Hopefully it holds up. You're in Hollywood, Bill?
No, I'm down in Orange County.
Oh, nice. What are you doing there?
I have my daughters are in town, so it's my mom's birthday.
Nice.
And we're just down here doing a little, got my robe, my hotel beach resort robe.
Not you got your college daughter, the one who the lesbian.
The lesbian
sorry.
and the 2-year-old.
Oh, sorry. Can she hear me?
It's okay. She knows she's a lesbian.
She's like from Berkeley, right? Like brilliant girl, like so proud of her.
Yeah.
The top of her class.
Well, that was the joke. The joke is like my daughter graduated from Berkeley, so she's a lesbian.
Yeah, of course. It's of course. They actually like set you up instead of like, when you go and get your degree, they also give you like a rainbow bracelet or something. But that's great, man. I'm happy for you. She's got a great dad. And this is the daughter that you didn't know you had till you were 50, right? Hello?
Oh man, come on, Adam.
I'm sorry. There's another.
By the way, that 50-year-old joke hurts because someone told me on a roast I had sitcom reunion face, and I was like, that's good. And I said it on stage, and it killed so hard. I was like, God damn, man, I must really have sitcom reunion face.
Well, Bill, I mean, I got nothing but love for you, man. You're a black belt. You're one of the funniest people I know. You're hilarious. You're the most successful actor I know. I mean, other than successful actors, you're like the most successful.
Other than actually successful.
Yeah. You work more than anyone I know. You're always on all kinds. You're a great actor, brilliant actor. So we're waiting for Frye and McCorkle. Did you watch?
Where are you right now? What am I looking at? I'm looking at.
I am in. I'm in Cozumel, working on a cruise ship, doing comedy. We got 12 shows. I have a show at 4:30 in the afternoon. Not really sure.
But doesn't it make you feel like when you're done with that, you feel untouchable, like you can do any room, any club, anywhere, and just murder?
Yeah, I was just telling the other comic about that. Like, you do these ships, and you're just like a superstar on the ship. Oh, there's the comic. I got a picture. Blah blah. And you're doing like 12. You're doing like 6 different shows, and it's just like sometimes like 1,000 people, and then you get off the ship, and you're like, whoa. And then you're like, hey, flappers, please call me back. Like, I'm available for. Then you're getting like a 2:00 show with flappers.
Let me know if there's a fallout, flapper.
Yeah, so it's definitely like, I have such a love-hate. Yeah, I mean, it's great because the shows are great, and I write a ton because because there's no television really, no cable. You got to pay for Wi-Fi.
Wow.
And so I work out and just write and edit. That's all I do. Work out, write, and edit, and then do the show.
Right. It's like a retreat.
It is, but I do miss my kid. I hate not seeing my 5-year-old. I see other kids on the ship and I get like physically sick. Like I get like a chest pain.
Yeah, I understand the feeling. Yeah. How long are you away from her?
This one is just 1 week.
Yeah, 1 week is about the time where it starts getting like tough.
Yeah, and then you see her on FaceTime and she's crying and it's always like the first day or second day my wife's like, I miss you and I can't wait to see that D and get home and give me that, come on, daddy. And then by like day 3 or 4, it's like, I didn't sign up for this shit. I'm a fucking single mom right now. Like fucking blah blah blah. This bill is due and that bill is due, and what you're never home and blah blah blah. You know, and other parents are, and you're just like, and then day 6 or 7, it's like, I can't wait to see you and I love you. And then after like one day of being home, it's like, when are you leaving?
Yeah, when are you going back?
Yeah, when are you going back? By the way, I keep seeing so many of your ex-girlfriends on my Instagram feed, by the way, Bill. They're all smoking hot. They're all dating magicians now. And they're like,
you're talking about the one, Danny, yeah.
Yeah, but she's always naked with the magician. Like,
yeah, they love being naked together.
I saw the magician show, and he was like, it was like a kid show, and I'm like, what a clean, wholesome guy. I know I've seen his cock like 37 times on my Instagram feed. Like I wish he would make his cock disappear. So,
shout out to Murray the magician, Murray Stachek. He worked.
I wasn't gonna say his name. I was like,
come on, who cares? He's got a great sense of humor. He posed for Playboy before,
Murray did
back in the day. Yeah, Murray did.
Yeah, I think Playboy. I think it's getting too woke. I think Playboy is too woke. When Murray's the guy, oh god, isn't it crazy? Like how like back in the day, like there were actresses like Julie McCullough who did Playboy, and then her career on Growing Pains was over. Like Kirk Cameron was like, I can't work with her anymore, and now every other girl has an OnlyFans. Like, I mean, Paige Van Zandt.
Yeah, and now you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Like I've seen more of her body than I've ever like. It's every other girl. It's crazy. Like, it's like now you get canceled for not being naked. It's just,
exactly. And now you can't make it a comedy unless you sexually assault 5 people.
It's like, it used to be a bringer show. It's like you have to have 5 Me Too's. It's a fucking Me Too minimum. So I started coaching again. We're coaching wrestling, and I love coaching. Coaching's great, but a couple things. First of all, this little girl. We got 5 girls on the team, and girls are always easier to coach than guys because they listen, and if anything, they're just too hard on themselves. Like you never have to worry about them fucking around or like being dicks to each other or whatever, going too rough. They just like, you have to build them up. Guys, you have to curb their ego, and girls, you have to build their ego up. But this one girl just keeps laughing every time she gets taken down. She does not, I've never seen anyone with less competitive instinct, like doesn't care. Like she gets thrown on her head and just starts dying laughing. And I don't know what should I say to her?
I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Whenever someone starts like choking me out, I start laughing. Right before I come, I start really giggling. No, no, but really, I think it's really because really what I feel. There was I mean, I'm not at that level obviously, but there's a major league pitcher who was a great pitcher, but he'd throw these fastballs, and when someone hit a home run, he'd say he'd laugh. He's like, "How the fuck did you hit that home run?" Like, I think I'm really hard to choke. So when the choke starts coming down, I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
You got it. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just like, I don't think it's a bad thing.
Well, she thinks the whole thing's funny. She doesn't care. She's not even trying. I mean, she thinks it's funny.
Oh, she's not even good. She's not good at all.
No. She just gets taken down and thinks this is a fucking big joke. But I don't want to like, I'm not going to yell at her because she's trying. No, she's not trying. She just doesn't care. Like she really doesn't care.
Wait, and if you don't care, you're not really trying, are you?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. And then one kid, this little kid on my team, this little kid is an adorable kid. It happens to be black. And I was like, hey guys, what's this part of your body, of your chest? And he's like, your sternum? And I'm like, yeah, good job, nerd. Like I was kidding. And then I saw on his face and he like got upset. And I was like, oh, I'm just kidding.
Oh, no.
And then at the end of the practice, he's like, Coach, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, nerds run the world. I started laughing and ran off. So I was like,
dude, that's so true, by the way. I mean, I gotta say, like, Whitney Cummings, she's working on a new special. And, you know, she's obviously a good comic, but I think her new special is going to be really, really something special. But she was talking about how, like, in the past 10 years, there used to be jocks and nerds, and now they've, like, fused together into this, like, weird Joe Rogan super nerd, where they're, like, total, like, jock nerd combos. Like, they like science, but they also fucking powerlift and eat keto.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. So your link worked, right? The link I sent you.
Yeah.
Fucking McCorkle somehow can't get on.
Really?
Yeah. No, dude. It's not fair. Like Zuckerberg fighting Elon Musk. I'm like, you can't have it both ways. You got to pick one lane. You can't be the biggest nerd in the world and then be like, I'm going to be a jock too. Like you picked your.
But I think that's where we're at now. I mean, that's the whole 10th plant jujitsu is all these. I mean, do you remember this guy named Eddie? Fuck, I'm blanking on his name. This is before Gordon Ryan and Gary Tonin kind of started coming up. Eddie, his nickname was Wolverine, but he was like a physicist in New York, and he never was an athlete in college or high school, and he was a physicist, and he started jujitsu kind of like out of curiosity. He was like a chess player, and then he basically developed the John Danaher leg lock system.
Wow.
And then
like that one kid.
Oh, Eddie Cummings, yeah.
Right. Yep. Yeah. And then did I tell you about the whole gay porn star thing?
No.
So my friend Aldo, who I coach with. So he hits me up. He's like, "Hey man, there's this kid from Michigan that wants to help coach. He's awesome. He was like a 5-time state champion and he 4-time All-American." I'm like, D1. I'm like, it's fucking great. Like that's what we need right now because I'm all over the world. I can't. So then he called. I'm like, I think he might be gay though. Okay, who cares if he's gay, right? So then I look at his internet. He's not only gay, he's like a gay porn star. Like he's won gay porn awards. Like there's just all this. So I'm texting Aldo the pictures of like he's got a cock in his mouth and his ass, and I'm like, well, he's a team player, or just like, man, he's great from bottom and great from top.
Yeah,
so
great.
Aldo has a club, and I'm like, look, you got to tell the parents, like, if he wants to work coach, it's great. But so now Aldo tells the parents before they come in, hey, by the way, and in LA, the parents are all like, fine, like, especially the girls.
Don't kink shame. Yeah, exactly.
But I couldn't get him cleared at like my middle
school.
So
now he's the coacher? Now he's the coach?
He doesn't coach at where I coach. The guy was like, sorry, I can't have him around. That could be a big PR, like, parents complaining, yada yada. But he coaches at the club. He coaches at the club, which is like my friend has a private club. But I think he coaches the adults. And like he does.
How do you feel about that? Because if I had a son that was 16 and there was like a hot male porn star as his wrestling coach, I guess in a way I'm like, well, if he's going to get his hymen popped, at least it's a hot porn star. But
I called Ben Askren. And Askren was all for it. He's like, what he did wasn't illegal. I'm not illegal, but you got to, tell the parents. And other wrestlers were like, no, like there are certain jobs you have, you can't, So I
guess so.
I didn't get him cleared. And then last night on the cruise, they have this thing, dude. They have this like, it's so funny because sometimes we get complaints for being too dirty. And they have this like naked scavenger hunt. Not naked. They have like an adult scavenger hunt, right? With like it's at night, and all these like adults go there. They have like, it's like 5 teams full of like 30 people each, and then you have to like, bring a bra on stage or bring underwear. But then it gets crazy. Like they have like a fake orgasm contest, and some guy entered it. It's like 70-year-old guy last night. It was like 6 hot chicks did it. They were like, oh. And then one dude was like, goes up there and he's like, I'm good, thank you. And he's like, yeah. He's like, right there. Oh yes. He's like, what is that? Is your hand going in lube? He's like, is that up my asshole? Oh. Like, dude, I was dying, bro. One girl last week brought a vibrator and started using it on herself. Like she was carrying a vibrator on her. It was fucking crazy. It was
so nuts. Fake orgasm, then you take a bucket of water and you spray, I'm a squirter.
Dude, it was and then I was in the elevator, right? First I'm in the elevator, there's a lady in like a wheelchair. Her wheelchair is turned the wrong way. Some asshole kid came in there and hit all the buttons. So now she's got to stop on every floor, and she's in a wheelchair. Like she can't even get out. And then
Wow.
And then a couple came in. They're like, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm the comic." The lady's like, "You got to meet my daughter." I'm like, dude, I took 3 flights to get there. Fucking tired. I left the night before. The cruise wasn't ready. I'm outside in Jamaica in the burning hot for like an hour. Then I get to customs. I'm there for another hour. I asked the guy, "Can I get on the ship?" And this dude's like, "Hey, man, look at that girl's ass right there." He showed me asses. I'm like, "I don't want to see asses." So I'm just fucking tired. I'm like, "All right, I'll go meet your daughter." So I go down the hallway. He's like, the lady's like, her husband's in a wheelchair. Make fun of him during the show. I'm like, great. Like what can go wrong here? Anyway, McCorkle, how are you? Now that it's summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny, active days. I know I am, okay? And Factor, which is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Not number 2, #1. It can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals, okay? Are you too busy with summer plans to cook? I am. It takes me forever to cook, and I ruin the meals. But I want to make sure that I'm eating well, and so should you. Well, with Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning, okay? While still getting the flavor and the nutritional quality you need. Factor is fresh, never frozen. Ew. Their meals are ready in just 2 minutes. That's right, 2 minutes. Although when I do stuff in 2 minutes, my wife complains, okay? But not with Factor. All you got to do is heat and enjoy, and then get back outside and soak up this warm weather. Vitamin D, all right? Looking for calorie-conscious options this summer? You can try the delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. That's nothing. You burn that off, I don't know, jogging, all right? You need an extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer? I do. We'll try the Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein. Hell yeah. Get rough. Look at these guns, people, all right? So check it out. Check out Factor. Head to factormeals.com/roasted50 and use code roasted50 and get 50% off your first box. That's half off your first box. That's code roasted50 at factormeals.com/roasted50 to get 50% off your first box. All right. Check it out. You're going to thank me later. I got this cute dog. She's teething right now. But she's adorable. All right. No more biting. You got to get some chew toys. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and check out Factor right now.
Doing all right. I was just enjoying hearing Adam complain about going on a cruise. Like, man, you wouldn't believe it. The pool wasn't nearly as big as I had hoped, and the room wasn't as clean. Like, I don't know. It reminds me of
the views from the ship aren't that great.
No, especially in the mornings. But it reminded me of, I saw a clip yesterday of LeBron James complain about how no one understands how hard it was to live in the bubble. You know, when the NBA players had to go and live in the bubble for 8 weeks, and then it showed some other NBA player that was like some kind of refugee or whatever. He goes, well, we were at a 5-star resort, so that made it a little easier, you know, whatever. That made it a little easier to survive those 8 weeks. But it's somebody made a little video that I thought was funny. So
I hear, dude. By the way, Bill, go.
I was gonna say, I'm sure they imported some bitches into the bubble. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there was a little bit of bubble. I'm sure they somehow breached the bubble to get hookers in there.
Sean, by the way, I had like a McCorkle moment the other day. So I was with my dad in Texas, and we go to this restaurant, and it was my dad's birthday. It's 77. So the waitress says, I go up, and I'm like, hey, can you guys bring out a cake for him? They're like, okay. I'm like, hey, anyway, you guys can sing happy birthday, which I didn't even want them to sing happy birthday. I just thought it'd be kind of funny. And they're like, oh, we can't. I'm like, why not? They're like, oh, it's copywritten. I'm like, happy birthday? Like, she's like, yeah, it's a copywritten song. I'm like, no, it's like, first of all, how many times have you said that lie? And people were like, oh, okay. I'm like, no, you can't. I'm like, what do you think is going to happen? Someone's going to show up and be like, oh, you guys are singing happy birthday and like give you a fine. So now I'm in this whole like argument with how you can't copyright happy birthday. But it was definitely a McCorkle moment. So.
That's only for like movies or something.
Yeah, I don't even think they're
for like a live singing of happy birthday at a fucking TGI Fridays.
So in MMA news, December 16th, they got Edwards versus Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards, and Brandon it's Pantoja versus Royval. Those are great fights. Royval's been winning. He's the one that was like, I'm sick of being overlooked, blah, blah, blah. Pantoja's the champ. And then Colby Edwards. Why do I think Colby's going to win this all day? Like, I feel like Usman was winning the first 4.5 minutes, actually 4 minutes, 4 rounds and 4 minutes, and then got knocked out. I feel like the second show, the second fight, he was fighting not to lose as opposed to win. And I see Colby just pressure. Unless he gets caught, which I don't think he will be, I see him beating Leon Edwards. What about you? Bill?
Yeah, or go ahead.
Well, I would say we got to start with Sean. He's really the expert.
Yeah, that's a good point. Sean?
That's one of the few things I know anything about. I can't imagine a world where Colby loses unless, like you said, it's like crazy head kick on the way in or something. But he's too smart for that, and his cardio's too good. And it will be interesting though to have Colby. They're gonna have Colby as one champ and Sean Strickland as another champ. Like the UFC, man, they're headed down some scary roads with those two as champs, man, and the faces of the company. It's
and then what's his name? You can't forget about O'Malley.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be I wonder if I don't know, man. It's Disney. They got a lot of power, so I wonder if anybody will get canceled or not. It seems like Disney has a way of just making things disappear. Them and Nike. Nike has like absolute literal sweatshops, like slave factory making their shoes, and that Michael Avenatti guy was going to expose it all, and then he went to prison instead. Like it's like if you mess with Nike, you just go to prison instead. Like.
Yeah.
John Jones too. John Jones would be the champ. Like when he's actually like the good champ. I mean that's hilarious.
Do you think that John Jones is actually going to go do one more fight? He said he was going to do one more fight and then he was done. Do you buy that?
Well, he's fighting Stipe at the Garden. And no one's giving Stipe a chance, which is crazy.
I know.
But I still, man, I feel like he beat Stipe, but that other guy. Who's that Russian dude that just ran through Curtis Blades? You know what I'm talking about? Was it Sergey Pavlovich? Is that the one?
I do, but I don't know his name. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, though.
I feel like he'd be a tough matchup for John Jones, but who knows, man? I mean, look, people didn't give Stipe a chance against Ngannou the first time. He beat Cormier 2 out of 3. It's just he's just a little older, but
it's been a while though. He hasn't competed in what, like 5 years?
He's old, man. He's got to be in his mid-40s by now, right? Doesn't he have to be close?
Did you ever spar with him, Sean?
Yeah, I did. He was he really, really surprised me. He wasn't as good of a wrestler as I thought, but he was a far better grappler than I thought, which I thought would be the opposite because I don't know if he wrestled in college. I know he played baseball in college, but I'd heard he was a really good wrestler. But
he wrestled in college.
Man, his grappling, his jiu-jitsu was slick, man. He actually got me in a weird submission I had never been in, like an inverted armbar. Like it was such a weird position. I literally didn't know how to get out. Like I had never seen that position before. So I was like, I tried to have him explain it to me like 5 times after, and I still didn't get what he was doing. I just knew I was in a weird position and my elbow was feeling like it was going to snap in half. So it was he's slick on the ground, man. He's really, really slick. Good standing up too. He's a good boxer.
Did you tap?
Yeah.
I did tap on that one. I also they kept wanting me to roll with him and spar with him, and I was sick that weekend. I was in Cleveland. I told him, I said, listen, I really don't feel good, which they didn't tell him that. His coach still wanted him to. So I was like rolling with him, and I would go in the bathroom and throw up and then come back out and roll with him some more. And then the next day he was real sick, and he was like, yeah, man, I must have picked up something. And I said, yeah, I told your coaches I was sick before. I asked him, are you sure you want me to train with him? He's like, wait, you told him you were sick? And they said, yes. I was like, yeah, they said they really need some bigger bodies in there and had to take advantage of it while I was over there. But he was actually really mad about it because I gave him my super virus I had or whatever it was. Yeah, he was throwing up for days. So I told him I didn't think it was a good idea, but his coach was having it no other way. So,
by the way, I'm in a fight with Tim Sylvia online because when Juliana Pena won her fight, I said, I'll bet anyone 20 push-ups, Pena will win. I made the challenge. Or maybe it was Carla and Rose. So Tim Sylvia took me up on it. Everyone took me up on it, like 100 people. And I won, right? So I had everyone do push-ups and like film themselves, and then I would just make fun of people as like the worst push-ups, or tell them they were serial killers and they look terrible, or how many bodies you have, just like completely shit on them, right? And then they're like, hey man, thank you, that's made my day. Well, fucking Tim Sylvia is like, I'll do it. So now it's been 2 years and he still hasn't done push-ups, right? So every like 6 months, I'm like, hey Tim, still waiting on those push-ups. So then he writes back, I'm not the kind of guy that videotapes myself at the gym, right? And I was like, yeah, it's hard to videotape yourself something that you don't do, right? That you've never done, or like just completely. He walked into it, and then everyone's like,
he walked right into that. You can't be mad at that.
No. And then, by the way, he happens to have a girl who's smoking hot. I don't know if like it looks like one, like basically like it looks like a caveman, or just like he hit her over the head with a club or something. But I don't know how Tim Sylvia has a smoking hot girl. But good for him. But yeah. And then over the weekend, you see Sam Alvey won his karate combat fight. You see that, Sean?
I did not. I didn't even know. But if I were betting, I would have bet on a loss with his recent streak. But if no, I don't actually know Sam Alvey. He's probably a nice guy. I just know he's
such a nice guy. But he's got like 7 kids. Like I think he adopted like 3 more kids recently. He's got like 7 kids, and I think he lives on a farm. And somehow he makes 19 TikToks a day, like everything. And then he does stand-up comedy now, and he has time to compete in karate combat. And he won. Because he lost like 8 fights in a row in the UFC, but somehow he has time to do all this stuff. And his wife is his trainer. You know, his wife was a model. Like she like won America's Next Top Model or something. Like she's fucking like pretty damn hot too. So here's Sam Alvey.
I have a feeling that if you're going from the UFC to karate, that you're probably taking a step down in competition. I feel like maybe the guys in the Karate Combat League are not what he's used to.
Who's doing karate anymore?
No, dude, it's a whole league called Karate Combat. It's pretty big. Like the announcers were like GSP, Baz Rutten, and like somebody else. So here's Sam Alvey and his knockout over the weekend.
That looks like karate to me.
Oh, classic karate.
Yeah, classic striking your opponent's on the ground karate.
Yeah, with a little jujitsu up kick.
I guess he cheated also on the weight. He did the whole Daniel Cormier towel weight, so people were very mad about that. But yeah, you got to follow his TikTok. He just constantly makes TikTok videos and now does karate, and karate combat, which some people are saying it's the sport of the future. Who's
saying that? That's what I want to know.
Mike Perry signed an $8 million contract with bare knuckle boxing.
Holy shit.
I don't know how many, this is what he says. Like it might be 8,000, but he can't read. But it might be 8 million.
Wait, eight. Wait, he said 8 figure. Oh, 8 million.
He said $8 million.
8 figure. I was like,
no, he said 8 million. He signed an $8 million bare knuckle boxing contract. So good for him.
It's for 800,000 fights. If he fulfills his contract, he will make $8 million.
It only ends with his death.
Yeah.
So Israel Adesanya finally spoke about his loss to Sean Strickland. He goes, it was a nightmare. No, he goes, it was a bad dream. A nightmare is like, oh shit, fuck. A nightmare, you're scared. I was like, you just try to hit the guy, and I felt like I had noodle arms. Like, what the fuck? I felt like it was a bad dream. He was right there constantly. Whenever I was setting him up, because he was right there, his coach would help him out. And I'd be like, fuck. So he was mad because the coach kept telling Strickland what he was going to do.
What a dirty coach.
He goes, good game plan from them. But for me, I wasn't able to adjust on the fly. It was his night. And yeah, he got it done. I made another dream come true. Well, I mean, I guess you're not supposed to fill your opponent's dreams. Is that really losing? Is that really making?
He's like a Make-A-Wish.
Right. He's going to be standing before God when he dies and be like, "What did you do for your fellow man?" Well, I made Sean Strickland's dream come true. So I did help him there.
But the thing is, Sean, have you ever had a fight where you like felt like that, like you were in a bad dream?
Yeah, almost all of them. Honestly, it always felt like a nightmare. But yeah, no. When I fought Struve, man, I didn't sleep that entire week. I was just too stressed out and literally just could not sleep. It was probably being off of my supplements didn't help either because I had to go off everything 3 weeks out to pass the test that I never end up taking. But I didn't sleep that entire week, and I just knew, man, when I was warming up, I had nothing. You know what I mean? Like I was shaking and like just had no energy warming up because I literally had not slept all week, and I was just like, this is not going to go well. And the whole time, the whole 3 minutes it lasted, it was like it was hell, man. I was like, this is the worst. Like I was exhausted from the word go, you know.
You had a beautiful double though. Your double was amazing.
Yeah, that was the one highlight. That's why I went after that Kimura so hard, because I was like, this is my one chance to win right here when I had him locked up, and I better go full force. And then yeah, I didn't know he had triple jointed elbows and shoulders. So he's the one that had a noodle arm. I wrapped his arm around his head 3 times and he didn't tap. I was like, well, this isn't going to work. So I knew at that point. But yeah, I know that feeling. It's funny that the feeling he's saying, though, it really is like this can't be happening. Like that's what you're thinking when you're losing. You know, I've had a couple fights like that. Like surely this isn't happening.
Wait, was he really triple jointed?
He said he's never been submitted. His shoulders are double jointed, so he can't be submitted with a Kimura.
Yeah.
So I literally, if you watch the fight, I twist his arm like a 360-degree thing, and it comes back like to the starting point. It's the craziest thing ever. And then he said after, I said, dude, what happened on that Kimura? I thought I had you. He goes, oh, I'm double jointed. Look, and he like showed me how he could pop his shoulder in and out. And he said, I've never been submitted with that. Yeah, he was like, I've never been submitted by anybody with that because I'm double jointed. I was like, well, that would have been nice to know going in. That would have been nice on the scouting report, you know. But I do think it's awesome when you were saying earlier, it's funny when I've always thought that when a guy calls out there like low kick into a double, you know, or whatever like that. And I'm like, you just told his opponent exactly what you want him to do. He can hear it too. Like I always wonder if it's like if you're fighting Matt Hamill, that's one thing. But if you're not fighting Matt Hamill, the opponent can hear also. I always thought that was fun.
But the thing was, but he wasn't even, I guess it wasn't even like his opponent was calling it out. Like Eric, what's it, Exnick at Extreme Couture? He just knew what he was going to do. He just saw like the fight through Israel's eyes. It was like, oh, he's setting you up for this. He's setting you up for that. He's doing like that's a great.
Oh, so it wasn't Israel's corner called it out? I thought you said it was Israel's corner telling him what to do.
It was Strickland's corner. Strickland's corner.
Oh God, yeah, that would be really disheartening. Yeah.
Like, can you imagine everything you're about to do? He's doing this. He's like that's a great that is a great corner right there.
The guy's like a genius.
Yeah. By the way, did you guys watch UFC Noche?
No, I was asleep because I was tired that Noche. I still don't get the Noche thing. I'm so lost.
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
So Don Frye just said 12 o'clock. Correct? Right now. so like 12. No, so I said 10 o'clock your time. I told him 10 o'clock. Right? Didn't you Sean, you saw that, right? I said 10 o'clock his time.
Yeah, you said 10 o'clock. Yeah, because you're the same time as him, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you said
if there's a discrepancy in the scheduling, I'm going to side with you 100% of the time over Don Frye.
Well, here he is. Let's see if he watched the UFC Noche. I don't think he watched the UFC Noche.
My money's on no.
Don, how are you?
Good, partner. How you doing?
Good. Did you watch UFC Noche?
No. Noche.
All right. Well, there was a couple things that happened, but Grasso beat Shevchenko. Actually, it was a split draw. It was actually, I thought Grasso won. They gave her a 10-8 round in the 5th, which was no way a 10-8 round. So Shevchenko would have won, but now I guess the UFC is doing a whole seminar with judges on what is a 10-8 round and what isn't a 10-8 round. Like that's how bad the judges
Right.
were.
It should be simple. It's a simple fucking thing, though. If it's a knockdown, did she get knocked down?
No, she went for a throw and then slipped, missed the throw, and then the girl took her back, but she didn't get knocked down or hurt. But it was
What was it a 10-8 round then? 10-8 round, 10-8 round is when you get knocked down. You know?
Yeah, and then
I think, Adam, I do think it's a good thing that it only took 750 events and hundreds of fighters being robbed on the scorecards for them to say, maybe we should educate these judges a little bit. Like after 20 years and like everybody being
30,
robbed constantly, at least
years.
once a fight, once an event, somebody's completely robbed. They're like, maybe we should teach these judges what we're looking for. So.
Dude, it was crazy. And then that kid that was 17 years old, they signed Rosas. So UFC signed a 17-year-old. And
of course.
I still say it's just because he's so good looking.
So his first couple fights he won. His last fight, I wouldn't say he got exposed, but it was clear. It was clear that he could have waited till he was 20, 21, 22 for them to sign him. Then they give him this guy from Alaska who has been knocked out the 2 times he fought in the UFC. He got knocked out in the first round. He only has won in Alaska, this guy. And guess what happened? He got knocked out.
Didn't fight in Alaska.
Yeah, he made Rosas look like a fucking K1 striker. I mean, it was the biggest. It was a layup and a half. Which it is what it is. But
I heard he made Rosas look like one ugly son of a bitch. That's what I heard.
It was crazy. Then there was a guy named Charlie Campbell from Long Island who tried to tried to prank DC during his speech. And DC was not happy. Here, I'll show you the video. So I mean, look, the kid won his fight. He looked good, and of course he kind of ruined it with his this whole pro wrestling. Let's see if I can find it. All right, so here we go. Share the screen. All right, where we go. So you see, here we go.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. So here we go. Do you guys see this? Yeah, you guys see it, right? All right.
Yeah, I do.
So here we go. And this kid, Charlie Campbell, six wins by knockout.
What did you think of my boxing? It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
What's up, people? Listen, today we're here with a sponsor for your bouncing bundle of joy. No, I'm not talking about a baby, although that's adorable. We're talking about your baby makers. Boom. That's right. Today's show is brought to you by MANSCAPED. But just like babies, your delicate little guys have sensible skin. Trust me. And they deserve products not only skin safe, but also with safe ingredients. That's where Manscaped's Platinum package comes in. From razors to shower care, this package goes above the gold standard for your body hair. So treat your beautiful boys to the world's finest toys at manscaped.com and use the code MMA Roasted for 20% off plus free shipping. Listen, Manscaped, I used to have the hairiest nuts. It was rough. I mean, girls would go down there, they would choke. Okay. I one time I had to go to the hospital. It was just nothing worse than, in the middle of a BJ, having a girl having to like go up and go and start ripping out hair. It's not good. It's bad. It happens to the best of us. Okay. Some of you friends might be Armenian or Italian or just hairier people. All right. Maybe not. But the Manscaped Platinum Package 4.0 is a one-stop shop for the man who deserves it all. And that's you. Okay. They designed this package to allow you to fully align your entire hygiene routine with elite products. We're all about elite. Okay. The Lawnmower 4.0 body trimmer and weed whacker nose and ear hair trimmer feature proprietary advanced skin safe technology to protect your delicate parts and holes. Both are waterproof. You can shave with less mess. Trust me, you don't want nose hairs and ear hairs. It's not good. Okay. You want to get laid? You want to have fun? You want to relax? Check it out. Go to the Platinum Package 4.0. They cover all bases from head to toe and hair to ball fro. Get 20% off and free shipping with the promo code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Use the code MMA Roasted. Use the Platinum Package because the gold standard is no longer good enough. So check it out and enjoy everything. So I guess
his big fucking moment, and he has to take a shit in the center of the octagon, huh?
So that, I guess The Rock did that back in the day, but
yeah.
I don't think anybody else realized it.
Yeah. I think all those fans are gone. They've moved on.
And that girl,
you know, that remind me of Adam. That remind me of an open micer trying out like a new joke. You know?
Oh yeah.
Or Brendan Schaub trying out an old joke. Either one.
Closer.
All right. Yeah.
Closer. So Lupe won, and I had a feeling it was like, look, whenever they do UFC Australia, they throw in a bunch of guys that are going to lose to the Australians. Like it just. So now UFC Noche, it seemed like the Mexican fighters had an advantage in this situation, right? So Lupe fights this girl.
Well, yeah, ask Shevchenko. Ask Shevchenko. He's will guarantee you that. Yeah.
So ask who?
Shevchenko. Did she lose? Did she lose in this fight?
Yeah, it was a split draw, so she didn't get the title. But this other girl was like, Lupe can with this girl Elise Reed. They're like, she's a Renaissance woman. She's owns a gym. She's a black belt. She's a mom. She's in the army. Like once they said she was in the army, I'm like, oh, it's over. Like at a certain point, you gotta like just. It just seems like you could spread yourself too thin. You know, it just kept going. And of course, she had heart, but yeah. All right, so I gotta say, pro wrestling may have hit an all-time low. Don and Sean, I gotta show you this wrestling. Somebody sent me this, and I'm kind of speechless. So here we go. If I can find it,
pro wrestling's hitting an all-time low.
Yeah,
it's pretty low.
It's not the same.
That's hard to accomplish. It's like they've hit rock bottom to show signs of digging, huh?
It's not coming up for some reason, but when it comes up, I'll show you guys. All right. In the meantime, so Tyson Fury, he was actually mad. He was actually mad that Mike Tyson was training him and not Tyson Fury, training Ngannou and not Fury. He said, after all, he's named after him. And he goes. Yeah. So Fury looks like he's not in great shape, and Ngannou looks like he's in horrendous shape. But Tyson Fury goes.
When has Fury ever looked like he was in great shape?
Yeah. Good point.
But he looks even worse. But he says about Ngannou, he's not going to last. His body is too good. I told you about these ripped bodies. He's got too many muscles, and he looks too good. When I felt him like this, and he was all hard as I was feeling him, he was hard. And I knew he's not going to win because his body's too good.
Yeah. He was thick and hard and and wet. Yes.
Sounds like you're getting one of those letters to Playhouse.
Started pulsating, yes.
Oh.
Don, did anyone ever say that about you? About your body if it was too good back in the day?
No. Especially my ex-wife. She always thought I could always work harder. You know, I never worked hard enough. Then she started telling me how I should fight. You know, I was, so.
Did she really?
Oh fuck yes! Oh yeah, she had no shame. Yeah, to tell me how to fight, she never been in a fight in her fucking life. Yeah.
What would you say?
I'd just laugh at her and walk away. or be a pussy and say yes, dear. Yes, dear.
What did she say about your Takayama fight?
Hell, I don't remember.
Probably that she was rooting for Takayama, I'm guessing.
Probably. Yeah, I cheated.
Sean, did you ever
My
have-
ex-wife did tell me, this is not during a fight. My ex-wife did tell me one time in my early professional career, I told her I didn't understand why all my friends wanted to see me lose. Like deep down, they secretly wanted to see me lose. And she was like, well, even I wouldn't mind seeing you get punched in the face every now and then. And I was like, wait, what? Like, you're serious? She goes, yeah, I mean, you think you're a lot tougher than you are. So I'd like to see you get your ass whipped once. And she was dead serious. I was like, thanks, sweetheart.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good to have you on my side.
Oh, yeah.
So now this dude wrestling right here is now, can you guys see this? He's wrestling a tent.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll show you.
Stare down. Whoa. Cute escape there. Nice reversal. I mean, these used to be the closest of friends. They were partners, basically. Oh. Hang among them.
Did that tent just reverse
Nicely
the
done.
position?
Yeah, looking good. Oh,
No,
scripted.
no.
Scripted.
No.
Oh, that's no.
Any idea what's going on?
Whoa! He threw him out of the ring.
Wow. Look at that. He escaped like a puss. He jumped out of the ring.
I mean, like,
I would actually watch that whole fight.
I was going to say, yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it again.
It's better than some of the matches I was involved in, I'll tell you.
Does anyone know the history between the beef between that guy and the tent? Like what
Kind of
exactly?
heat, yeah.
announcer said
And
he's
surrounded in
right.
heat.
The announcer said
I think he fucked his girlfriend inside the tent. The tent got mad.
Yeah,
It's a zippered affair.
Normally when I'm pitching a tent, I'm by myself.
Hey,
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Okay.
that was good. That was good. I liked it.
By the way, Don,
Yeah,
what did you think of Lauren Boebert, Don? So the congresswoman from Colorado that was getting her tits felt up at Beetlejuice. Did you see that?
No, what a whore. What a dumb whore. She cheated on her husband too, right?
No, I guess they're like divorced. I don't know if they cheated, and she was out at Beetlejuice and she was vaping and she got kicked out. Her and the guy got kicked out. She gave the person the finger, and then people were mad at her for vaping. Shit, I wasn't vaping. Then they actually had like some kind of a dark camera, and the whole time the guy's feeling her tits, and then she's like giving him a hand job over the pants. I don't know. It's like a kind of a fun date to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
you expect more out of a congressman, though. You know, shit.
Yeah.
The whole time I was thinking you meant Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show. I was so confused. What's Beetlejuice?
No, she went to go see Beetlejuice the musical in Colorado.
Oh, I didn't know what that was. I was imagining the guy from Howard Stern show feeling her up, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on in this scenario.
He'd be reaching up. Man, it'd be a tall reach. Yeah, stretch.
He went up on her.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern. And then there was another fight over the weekend where this guy tried a different tactic. I've never seen this tactic before. I want to know what you guys think. Should this be legal?
Bruce Buffer thinks it should be.
I think you should be able to pants people. Of course, it's hilarious.
Right.
Don?
That's called desperation. That's a desperation move when you know you're getting your ass kicked and you grab somebody else's ass. You know, it'd be funny if the guy turned around and shat on him.
I feel like people do the shocker and the butthole out of desperation a lot.
Really?
Yeah, does that happen every date you're on?
I know in wrestling that really is a something they teach guys, or at least I know my wrestling coach taught me that. But no, they really do teach them to go check the oil if you're in a bad position in wrestling. That's
Yeah. Now
but that wasn't your wrestling coach. That was your Boy Scout leader.
Yeah, that's what I was insinuating.
Yeah, the other guy requests that you do it, though. You know you're in trouble.
He's like, now you show me that you know how to do it.
So this week in Bellator, Johnny Eblin, who's 13-0, never lost a round. This dude, he beat Musasi. He's the main event. He's the guy that I was like, I wrote a joke like, watching Bellator is like taking home a girl with a hairy bush. Not my first choice, but I'm still gonna do it, right? So then he writes, kind of like your comedy shows. This fucker, right? So then he came to my comedy show. The guy came to my comedy show in Florida. I had 2 shows. One had like 200 people. One had 7 people. He comes to the one that has 7.
Did he ask for tickets? Did he ask for free tickets?
No, I gave him free tickets, but he came for the one that had 7 people. And like he was the best sport. He's the coolest motherfucker. But he's fighting Fabian Edwards, who's Leon Edwards' brother in the main event. Of course, it's Bellator, so no one's talking about it. No one's hearing about it. But it's actually a pretty good fight. And then Aaron Pico's fighting, who was like, Pico was like the #1 top-rated high school wrestler in the country. Then he went right to the Bellator. He lost his first fight. He was fighting like an idiot, but now he's like 6-0. His shoulder popped out like 2 fights ago. So he's fighting Calvajo. So that's going to be a good fight. In the UFC, are you going to watch the UFC this week?
Adam, before you do the UFC, can I just say something? I got to plug you. You're a great comic, but there's no better comic in the world in front of 7 people than Adam Hunter. I'm not even kidding. Your ability to do like really small crowds is fucking unparalleled, dude. I don't know what it is.
Better. I like it better sometimes. I to be honest, me and my dad saw Chappelle one time back. It was right after he did the Nutty Professor, and there was like 7 people there, and he did an hour and a half, and we were both crying, laughing. Like some comics, they go to a show and there's nobody there, and they take it out on them. I'm like, fuck it, give them the best show possible. UFC, Fiziev versus Gamrot, 2 amazing fighters. Gamrot, he beat Jalen Turner. That's the guy that was afraid of spiders. So he went out and got spiders, and now he breeds them. But he lost to Benil Dariush. And Fiziev lost his last fight to Gaethje. It was a good fight, though. He beat RDA, beat Bobby Green, beat Hanato. What do you guys think about this fight? Anything?
I'm trying to figure out how I haven't heard of either of those fighters with all the people they've beaten and fought. Like, I don't know how do I not know who they are? That's strange.
All right. So also
fight for Bellator.
Oh, this is UFC. This is UFC. So Bryce Mitchell, he's the guy that was like, he's the guy, he's from Arkansas. He thinks the earth is flat. He was undefeated up until his last fight, but he fought a stud. He also
undefeated up until he lost.
Yeah. He wanted to debate Joe Rogan on flat earth. He jerked off into his sock. And then what Krause told a really funny story about that. Like, he's just a really funny guy. Like, he's hilarious.
He's on the podcast, right? He's a friend of the pod, right?
A while back, he did it. He's always on Tucker Carlson saying he's not getting rid of his guns. He's got like 720 guns.
You got more than
How amazing is it that he's on MMA Roasted and Tucker Carlson? That's amazing. that those 2 worlds collide through one fighter.
He trains out of his backyard. Like basically he's always so anyway, recently he was very mad at his ex-girlfriend. You guys want to see what happened?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Was his ex-girlfriend a tent? Then definitely show it.
No, his ex-girlfriend was cutting down his fruit tree, and he made a video about it. They got 3.7 million views. We'll show you guys what happened. Bryce and his ex-girlfriend's fruit tree.
So I'm out of town for my fight, and my coward ex-girlfriend came by my house and vandalized my house yesterday. She destroyed all of my fruit trees. Now, my ex-girlfriend runs a tattoo shop on Booth Street. And for the love of God, if you're not evil and you're not a coward, don't give her your business. The tattoo shop on Booth Street, the woman that runs that, came by my place and destroyed all my fruit trees. I've been working on those trees for years, and she came by last night and killed them all. I'm making this post because this shit is evil, and I'm begging the community of Cersei to help me. Guys, I'm out of town, and my animals and my wife is at home by herself. I need my neighbors to help. I need my neighbors to help. This evil woman is going to come by. She's threatened to kill my dogs. She's threatened to kill me. She's threatened to kill all my animals. And I'm telling you, last night she came over and killed my trees. Now that my trees are gone, she's going to try to kill me. She's going to try to kill the dogs, or she's going to try to kill Aaron. For the love of God, can the people in Searcy please help me? And she runs a tattoo shop on Booth Street. And that's really all the information you need to know. But I'm telling you, this woman is evil in Searcy. I don't even know how, but I need your help. I need your help, Searcy. Please. That while I'm gone, this woman is going to try to burn down my shit. And I don't know what else I can do about it. But my neighbors, please help me.
So, thoughts, guys?
So many questions I have.
Sounds like a freebie to me if she's making all those fucking threats and he can go chase her down and defend his life, right? It's a freebie.
Yeah. By the way, there's a couple things. Do you notice that the animals got top billing over the wife?
Well, what do you expect, man? Guys from Arkansas.
But like, go to the tattoo parlor on Booth Street. Every time he said that, I started laughing. Like
And the least surprising part of that whole story is that there's a tattoo parlor on Boot Street. If it's Boot Street, there's guaranteed to be a tattoo parlor on it. I guarantee.
Like, don't give her your business. Like, or I think people were like on their way to get a tattoo and then saw that. Like, I'm not gonna get one from like Don.
That's a threat for violence. Yes.
Don, do you grow fruit trees? How long does it take to grow a fruit tree?
I don't know. My ex-wife killed mine too, and I was kicked out of the fucking house. Yeah,
wait, how do you kill a fruit? How do you kill a fruit tree? Do you chop it down, or I mean, that's like
in Arizona, you got to fucking water them. You know, we don't get rain often enough, so you gotta make the effort to give them water. And she did not make the effort to drag the hose over there and give them water.
But yeah, Bill, you think he has to like a chainsaw and she's cutting down?
But how do you kill a fruit tree? Like, can you be more specific? I mean, did she turn off the hose? What did you do?
She probably fucking stood out there and nagged at it, you know, and it committed suicide. Hung itself.
The tree just
hung itself from another tree.
It's so funny. I don't know why.
Some people were like, the comments were like, "Tell me you're from Arkansas without telling me you're from Arkansas."
Exactly.
Oh my God! I mean, I hope Rice is focused for this fight. Dan EJ is really good, but man, I mean that's some crazy stuff. Like,
that's some crazy stuff to take into the cage with you, worrying about your fruit trees. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're back here trying to get warmed up, thinking, man, my apple tree is gone when I get back. That is going to be a real bitch. Like,
oh my God. Yeah.
And also, who says fruit trees? Would they be like, my apple trees, my orange tree? It's like just general. There's a bouquet of fruit hanging from the tree.
It's a tree that's very versatile. It can be whatever. You don't know what's coming out of it.
There was this fighter from Africa. I forgot his name. He's like, "Don't worry, Bryce, I got your back," and he bought a plane ticket to Arkansas. Sadiq Youssef, he wrote, "I got your back, Bryce. Don't worry." Oh my God, that was so funny. I was like, anyway. Also, the Karate Hottie is taking on Marina Rodriguez. Both of them have lost 2 in a row. And then Jake Collier, he's the guy that started off at like 185 and now he's at 285. He was the guy that like was this big fat dude. He went to a wedding at like 21. Someone's like, "You got to do jiu-jitsu, you're too fat." Next thing you know, he was training under like a tree house, and now he's in the UFC. He's still training in a garage. He's lost his last couple fights, but he's fighting Kamaru Usman's brother, Mohammed Usman. So those two are fighting. And then Hannah Goldie, that's the girl that tried to grab Dana White's dick. Remember? After she got off the scale, she reached for his dick. And then he like moved away. So she's still there. So and then
she didn't get arrested for assault. Come on, man. What? This is fucking 2023, isn't it? Equal now, equal rights. It's fucking Burma.
Exactly.
And then the PFL announced they're going on pay-per-view, their main event. Pay-per-view. I don't know who's paying for this, but Clay Collard versus OAM. Larissa Pacheco versus Marina Maknakina. Muhammad Ali's son or his grandson, Biagio Ali Walsh, is taking on Joel Lopez in an amateur fight. Joaquin Silveira, who's Conan Silveira's son, is taking on Impa Kasanaga. Impa is the guy I knew. He was training my friend. Was even in the PFL. He was like got cut for the UFC, and now he's fighting for $1 million. So, and then Kayla Harris is back fighting Julia Budd. But I don't know who's gonna order this PFL pay-per-view. I happen to know these people, so I might. But
how much is the pay-per-view?
I don't know.
$1.99.
I think it's like $50. Anyway.
So with Adam's buy, they should clear about $50. Is my guess.
Yeah.
It should be the gross.
So, Sean, how you feeling?
How am I feeling? I'm alive, I guess. That's about the best that could be said. Yeah.
How's your physical therapy?
It sucks, man. Yeah, I got to go multiple times a week, and it's like an hour and 15 minutes away, so it sucks. But it doesn't help at all. It just makes me real sore afterward. But it's part of jumping through the hoops you have to do to try to do this thing called to make this really boring. They've got this new procedure they do where they can actually, you know how you can have your knee scoped or your shoulder scoped where they take a camera in there. This thing I'm trying to have do, they can actually do your spine now. They can actually put a camera in there and look and find out what nerves are damaged or impinged or whatever and laser them off. So that's what I'm arguing with my insurance company now to do. I got to do so many physical therapy appointments just to prove it's not going to work, as if the 12 years of things I've been doing doesn't prove that they're not going to work. So I'm jumping through their hoops. But no, I have a lot of hope for that to work, man. It's a brand new thing they're doing. I got to go out of state to do it, but hopefully it'll work. So
did you ever get hold of that guy that I gave you a name and number to in Ohio?
Yeah. Yep. I just talked to him yesterday. Yeah. I tried his supplements. It didn't have quite the effect that I was hoping for, but it also came completely melted because shipped in the heat. So I don't know if that had something to do with it or not. So
yeah, it happened to me the first time. So, I couldn't gauge it. Just had to take a big old chew,
Right.
And next time he shipped it in ice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I just got mine yesterday. So it's not melted. So we'll see what happens. So.
And then what do you got coming up? Anything, Bill?
When's the show come out? Now? Today?
It'll come out today.
If anyone can come to Covina Laugh Factory tonight, please come tonight. Also, Vegas, November 13th through 19th, which is F1 week at the Vegas Laugh Factory in Tropicana. Come to that. And otherwise, yeah, Bass Reeves on Paramount Plus. No, I'm not allowed to promote apparently, but fuck it.
Fuck it. Okay.
Yeah, watch that.
What's it called? Bass Reed?
It's called Lawmen. It's a Taylor Sheridan series.
Oh, that's great.
It's about a black bounty hunter. I read about about this guy a few years back. He's a pretty tough bastard.
Yeah, he was a fucking beast. And I had to do the whole thing in blackface, which was really challenging. No, obviously I play a racist and try to kill him.
That's a bold choice in these days.
Wait, what do you play? A racist guy who tries to kill him?
Of course.
Nice. That's awesome.
I would have thought Don got that part, but
oh man, I would cast Don.
You wanted him to audition. Shit, they just send me your sizes.
And then Don, what do you got coming up?
Oh hell, what do I have coming up? I just bought a new truck. Yeah.
Nice.
82 Chevy. Long bed 4x4, and powder coated frame and 350. It's kind of a dog, I'm gonna have to get some horsepower on that thing, man. Be a bigger carburetor or something,
Nice.
Can you build cars, Don? Can you do that? Can you alter yourself?
No, no, I get somebody to do that. I know enough hillbillies that are good working on carburetors, you know.
Nice. Well, I'll be in Vegas at the Dirty at 12:30 at the South Point Casino, October 28th. If anyone wants to see me there, thank you guys so much. Hope you guys have a good weekend.
See you, man.
All right, thanks, Sam.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Grand slams, no hitters, and double plays are back. That's right. And there's no better place to get on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official partner of Major League Baseball. And guess what, people? New customers in Massachusetts getting in on the action with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston. And finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. I love it, okay? If I'm going to bet, I'm going to go on FanDuel. So now, bet on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 of bonus bets, win or lose. How great is that? Okay, visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. That's FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 and older and present in Massachusetts. Okay, your first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. And bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Help is here. So is hope. Hope and help. GamblingHelpLineMA.org or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. That's FanDuel. Check it out now. Right now. You want to bet? That's where you go. What's up, people? I'm here with one of my favorite people in the world. I knew this kid when he was like 11. Came to my show at some casino in Fresno with his girlfriend. I think they were holding hands. It was very cute. He was about 4'6". And I was like, who is this kid? He's like, oh, I'm a big fan, man. Can I get a picture? I'm like, sure. Next thing you know, he's murdering it. He's killing it. One of the best fights I've seen in a long time. Cody Gibson, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Adam?
Good, man. Congrats on your last fight. They were calling it Bonner Griffin. Like,
I know. That's a pretty good compliment to get.
Oh my God. Did it go? I mean, it was an amazing fight. One of the best fights I've seen in a long time. It was a wild fight. What would you have done differently if you had to fight Katona again?
I mean, it's always hindsight's 20/20, you know? Like, I decided that I was just going to walk forward in that fight, and I knew because he wants to try to push me against the cage and hold me. Like, if you watched a lot of his previous fights, he'll just hold guys against the cage for like 2-3 minutes, kill the clock. Like, and I was like, well, he's not gonna be able to take me down if I'm in the middle of the octagon. I just knew my wrestling would be able to stuff his takedowns. But could I get slowed down against the cage? He seems to be really good at that because he does it to good guys. And so I just figured if I'm moving forward, then he can't take me down and he's going to have to strike with me for the full 15 minutes. And I like my odds there. But then I think about it in retrospect and I'm like, maybe I could have played like the outside game, used my footwork, you know, been more elusive and evade, you know, like just try to hit and not get hit. And maybe I would have had an easier fight, or maybe I would have been held against the cage for 15 minutes and nobody would be talking about it. So
do you think you won the fight?
I didn't think I did. No. I thought I won more of the fight. Like I would, both of the second and third round, like I win more of the round, but the parts I lose pretty decisively. And the way they judge the fights, the number one criteria is damage. And then number two is effective striking and or grappling. So if it's based on damage, like he wobbled me in the second round, even if I out-pointed him and out-landed him. And then the third round, my eye swelled up and he landed like 17 uppercuts in a row. That was pretty sweet.
Now you said you didn't think he was that good before the fight. That's what the announcer said. That you said you didn't think he was that good. He was overrated. Do you still think that or no?
No, I never didn't think he was that good. I knew he was good. I just, when I watched his fights, I kind of got I got some word of who was going to be in the house or likely. And so in that hotel the whole time before they took our phones away from us, I was just scouting, just watching film. But what else? I could only watch so much cable TV before you're just like, so I was just watching a ton of film, taking a bunch of notes, sending it to my coaches back home who were watching film, sending me their notes. And so it was like watching his fights, I was like, dude, this guy is freaking boring, man. He just holds guys, doesn't do anything, doesn't even try to hurt them, doesn't do any damage. And so that was my critique on him, was like, you don't really like to fight, do you? Like deep down, like you kind of know guys that don't really like to be in the fire and like take risk. And so that was my critique. But then I watched the semifinals fight. I didn't get to see it live when it happened against Timur Valiev. I was in the back about to fight after him, so I didn't get to see it. So I saw it about 2 weeks before we fought. It was the first time I was able to get access to that video. And so I was like, well, when he's forced to fight, he can fight. He's tough.
Right. Got it.
So I kind of knew leading into it, like, if I could stuff his takedowns, make him strike with me, it's not going to be necessarily easy, but, he will fight if he's forced to. And so, I don't know. I guess we'll see in the next Bracketona fight if my critique is accurate, if he just holds the dude against the cage for 15 minutes.
Now, did you get a contract?
Yeah. So they signed me. Obviously, it's not as lucrative as if I would have won the show, but it's not a entry-level contract either, so I can't complain. And I know at my age and like where I'm at, like I'm going to make my money in bonuses. So every time out's going to be foot on the gas and make it exciting and fun and give the crowd what they want,
How do you do it, man? I was thinking about it because I took my kid to school today. I came back. I'm like, all right, I'm going to nap for 30 minutes before this podcast. And then I got to coach rest. I got to do a Zoom comedy show from 12 to 1. Somebody hired me to do a Zoom comedy show. Then I got to go coach my wrestling. And then I got to go fly to Jamaica to work on a cruise ship. But I'm like, that's busy. But I'm like, man, this dude, he's got 2 daughters. He's in the UFC. And you're talking to me right now, like in a locker room, in like the teacher room between 9:15 and 10:15. That's what you told me that you have the opening. Like, how do you manage to make it work while having a full-time teacher job and training in the UFC and having 2 kids?
Just stay busy. I don't know. I'm better when I'm busy, like I like routines, and you get used to getting up early and you get used to the schedule, and I'm still getting 4 hours a day in the gym, so
4 hours. Wow.
I mean, most guys do, 2 sessions a day. Most guys do, it's roughly 3 to 4 hours a day that they're spending in the gym. So I just get mine at different times,
When do you get your 4 hours?
I'll get like an hour and a half in the morning before work. I'll go and do like my strength and conditioning. And then after work, I have a longer session, 2 to 3 hours. So
you're getting up at what, 5?
Yeah. So I used to get up at 4. But I got where I'm training now is close to my work. So, and they have showers there, so I could just go straight from the gym to work. So, I get up at 5 and then go in 5:36 and get going.
5:36, and you're doing strength and conditioning. So you're running what, 4 miles?
If I'm going to the gym, it's usually we're just strength and conditioning, like a workout. But 2 of the days I run in the morning.
So you're running what, 5 miles, 4 miles? Like
usually 4 to 5 miles, yeah.
And then you're lifting. Do you have a coach, strength and conditioning, or just you?
I have a coach, but I can't afford them when I'm not in training camp, like when I don't have a fight. So I just do the classes, like it's kind of like CrossFit, You're
not even shaving your eyebrows. I'm looking at your eyebrows right now. You don't even have time to shave your eyebrows. Those are some thick eyebrows. You look like you're like Armenian or something. All right, so so you're getting up, you're doing crazy lifting. You have a guy, you know what you're doing. Then you're going to school. Then you're dealing with what? How many periods of like high school kids?
I switched to junior high, so I'm at the middle school now.
Oh no! It's even worse. Oh, you're teaching gym.
I'm teaching gym now.
Oh, that's better. Okay, so you're not
Yeah.
grading papers. You're teaching kickball and
Yeah.
Okay, now are you coaching wrestling or no?
Yeah, I was the head wrestling coach for the junior high team last year, which is perfect for me because it's about the level of commitment I can give them. You know, like I was a high school coach for a lot of years, and I mean, I was gone all the time with them and summers and off season stuff. And so doing that forever and then going to the junior high where I've got like a short season and they have a club team that I don't run the club team or anything the high school does. And so my guys will wrestle for the club team and then they'll wrestle the little, 8-10 weeks with me. And then they'll, so it's not too much of a commitment. It's 2 months, 2.5 months or whatever.
Is it 5 days a week?
Yeah, we practice every day.
Now, are you picking kids though also throughout gym? Are you like, hey, you got to wrestle? Because that's like 90% of it.
Yeah, I had 40 plus kids on my team last year.
Wow.
And I do that a lot, especially like a little dude. And I'm like, hey, what sports do you play? They're semi-athletic, or even I had like 8 or 9 special ed kids on my team last year.
Wow. So you got 40 kids. Is it 6th through 8th or 7th and 8th?
6, 7, and 8.
Okay, so now you got all levels. So now you got 40 kids. You had kids that wrestled last year before, and then you got special ed kids. Oh my God! I mean, that's probably the parents are probably thanking you so much because this is like the one sport that like they could probably do pretty well. But that's got to be hard. So, do you have an assistant coach or just you?
No, yeah, I had to fight for it last year because I was like, they were just gonna give me they just had like one stipend or whatever, like $1,500 stipend or whatever it is, and I was like, I need a second coach. Like, it's not safe for me to be like trying to run a practice with 40 plus kids, and I got so many that have special needs, and so I fought for it. And I threw the liability thing at him. I was like, well, if you guys don't want to give it to me, fine, but I'm just the first thing that happens, and there's a liability issue, I'm gonna go back and tell the parents and tell the community like, hey, I asked for it. They said they didn't have the money.
That's what I did because the walls weren't padded, and the kids were running headfirst to the walls. I'm like, I wrote a letter. I go, listen, this is my last week of coach. This is the beginning. I go, these kids are gonna get concussions, and I don't want it to fall on me. And then the next day, the walls were padded.
Isn't it funny how that works? Suddenly, the money is found.
Yeah, we had mold in our wrestling room though too. So we were wrestling like 10 kids in a science room, like that wasn't even, and the walls were constantly falling on all the kids. So I got kids holding up the walls, and I'm like, bro, you're giving me no shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bad enough that the other kids, because I have them twice a week. I have an hour and 5 minutes twice a week.
That's it?
Yeah. And they want me to be competitive. So, oh, yeah. So, all right. So now what? So you're doing that. So now you're coaching wrestling. Then you're going to other practice. Are you still at the at Liddell's guy? What's his name?
Hackelman. Yeah,
Hackelman. You still now? Are there other guys? So are you still the best guy in the gym? For a while, I was concerned because you were the guy. Do they bring in other guys to beat you up?
Well, my coaches could beat me up for sure. We've got some good young guys. But yeah, we're a small team still, We got Sammy Henson's son who moved here, and his brother wrestled for Iowa, and then he transferred to Oklahoma. He was a starter. He left Iowa because they brought in Real Woods, and he was like felt slighted. I think like, well, you're bringing in the guy at my weight,
Okay.
So he's kind of bounced around, but this kid's name's Jackson Henson. And he went like 5-1 as an amateur, and so he's ready to make his pro debut at 125s, 135s. He probably will eventually fight at 125s, but he's like my main training partner. He's just a really good wrestler, learning how to throw hands, So
wow. So he came from D1 over to your gym.
He came. No, I think he didn't. He went straight. He wrestled in high school and was good, but he didn't. He just started fighting right out of high school and didn't take the wrestling route. So, but he's a really good grappler, really good wrestler, and so I'm trying to help him find fights right now. It's kind of hard. I'm trying to talk to Uriah Faber's promotion about getting him a fight.
His last name. His name isn't Sammy Henson, is it?
It's Jackson Henson. I know he needs to change it.
Yeah, that's the problem. All right. So now. And how old are your daughters?
So my oldest is 7 and my youngest is 3.5, and we got one more on the way.
Wow. One more daughter?
Well, we find out this week what the sex is, so we'll see.
Congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Wasn't planned.
Oh, now is your wife like, what are you? Because my wife, every time I go to wrestling, I drive 45 minutes there, an hour back. I love my wife. I got, I'm blessed. But she's like, why are you doing this? This is a hobby. You get paid $25 a day. You don't need this. You know who does need you? Your family. Like, I get shit for do you get the same shit from your wife?
Yes. I mean, she's super supportive, but of course, like, there's days where she's like, she's got to be the one to pick up the kids, and then she's got dinner and she's got bath, and you're like,
well, she's driving them too, right? She's driving them to school, because if you go from practice to school, she's getting them ready. She's picking them up. She's getting the food ready, because I'm doing that the night before, because I'm like, otherwise, so I'm making the lunch the night before, otherwise it's not getting made, or I'm just like, and then I'm waking her up and I'm taking her to school. But if you're already gone at 4:30, so she got to take both kids to school, and then you're not back till what, 6, 7?
Yeah, it just depends on the day. Some days I get to go home right after work, and I have till like 5 or 5:30. I have to leave, so I'll have like a little bit of time to get. I'll pick up the kids those days and like try to be productive.
Thank God you got that contract. Otherwise, if you would have not got that contract, you'd be divorced right now. Just so you know, you should thank Dana. Be like, Dana, thank you. Now, okay, now listen. So you got that. You got the contract. Now, before you were going door to door for Bernie Sanders.
I did do that, yes.
Did you stop campaign? Are you still campaigning for Green Party or for other what's going on with there?
No, I just helped out when Bernie was trying to climb that mountain, but it was a good experience. It was fun.
Yeah. Now, were people like, you're the guy from my TV, or aren't you the fighter? Aren't you the wrestling coach? Aren't you my kid's history teacher? Did you run into that at all when you came door to door?
I was on the north end of town, which was like the rough side of town.
Oh no.
So I was like, just trying to talk to people, use my broken Spanish a little bit, and
I still think the Hector Lombard debate that you had was one of the funniest. That was one of the funniest moments in the history of the podcast.
He made that podcast. He's just crazy. It went off the hinges so fast.
And Eve Edwards, but he like respected you. He showed you a lot of respect and love. He's like, you're very smart. I like you. You could tell he liked you. But that was one of the funniest. But Eve Edwards was on your side, just so you know.
Yeah, he was. I had to use on my side.
Yeah, he was texting me with things to ask Hector. Like once he said that Michelle Obama has a penis, and this, then it got even crazier. So are we still into politics, or have we kind of taken a step back?
I mean, I still follow politics pretty closely, but my wife tells me to keep my mouth shut. Because she's like, everybody in MMA is like a right-wing conservative. So why do you want to be the one guy who's out there preaching about like unions and stuff? And I was like, I'll just.
Well, you're not a Democrat either, though. That's the thing about you, though. Like, you're not even.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like you're not even a Joe Biden supporter. So I think people would fall in line more with you in a lot of ways, because they're not necessarily conservative. They just, a lot of them hate Joe Biden, and then want to keep their guns, and so, and then they think they're being lied to. I get it. I don't even know what I am. I used to be a pretty hardcore liberal, and then all of a sudden you started like, well, wait a minute, and then you start touring the country, and you realize how nice conservatives are. Like I used to have a joke that like if my car broke down and I'm flagging down a car, a conservative would come and help me, but a Democrat would tell me I should have a hybrid and give me a whole lecture. So, it is what it is. So do you have a fight coming up?
No, not right now. I want to fight this year again. I was told my manager, I was like, try to give me a December fight. but I got 2 surgeries coming up.
Wow.
My nose, I have a really bad deviated septum, so I'm like can't breathe out of one nostril at all, and so they're gonna do surgery on that. And then I found out I have a hernia that I probably got in my training camp leading into the Brackettona fight was when I hurt my groin, and I didn't know. I just like iced it for a day and then was like, just keep training. Like it is what it is. And then it started when I came home and started training again. It was like hurting bad again, and I was like, this is not going away. And then I went and got tested last week, and sure enough, I got a hernia. So I'm gonna have to have surgery on that. So I'm gonna have 2 surgeries lined up here, but hopefully the recovery's relatively.
You're not fighting this year.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry, man. But dude, take care of yourself. First of all, that deviated septum, if you can't breathe, I mean, look what happened with what's his name? That guy, Dio, whatever his name is, the guy who just beat Robert Whitaker.
Oh, Drakus?
Yeah. I mean, look how much better he looked after surgery.
I've heard of that from a lot of people is when you get this surgery, like your cardio, you're like, holy shit, I could breathe again. And then that was a question the doctor had for me last week. He was like, how many times you broke your nose? I was like, I don't know. I don't know. I've never even, this was the first time I've actually officially been diagnosed with a broken nose. Like,
wow.
Because I just probably don't ever find out. And then he's like, because your nose is fucked.
Oh my God.
So it'll be good. It'll be interesting to see if it does help me like get a second wind, we'll see.
And then McGregor, right? So is he as nuts as he seems, or is he a nice guy off camera? Like, because you watch him and you're like, how much cocaine did this guy take? But then you're like, well, maybe he's just pumped. Tell me about McGregor.
I think the guy's on something, man. That's just not normal behavior. Like sometimes he's so erratic, and like his personality changed so much from day to day when you saw him, where he would be in the background and be quiet one day and just seem like a normal guy or really nice and cordial, and the next day he's just crazy, and like sometimes he would like give speeches and you're just like, what the hell is this guy talking about? Like I have no idea what you're saying. Like, and everyone just nodding. He has so many yes men around him that like laugh at his jokes and like nod and everything he's saying and think he's genius, like. And I was just like the only guy standing there, like looking around, like, what the fuck are you talking about?
How jacked is he? Is he as big as he looks in pictures?
He's huge, and his face is like whatever he did to his face. He don't look the same as he used to. Like he's had some plastic surgery, or he got fake teeth or something. I don't know. Something's off about him.
Well, doesn't HGH like increase the size of your head or something? His head looks like twice the size as it used to be.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I feel bad for Chandler right now because it's not looking good. Like now, Dana came out and said like we'll see what happens whenever Connor's ready, but he wasn't as committal to like, no, this is the fight we're making. So I hope he didn't have to waste a year of his life, especially at his age and where he's at. It's like, dude, you're just like, you need to be in that's what I'm like. I got to get back in the cage as soon as possible, as often as possible, because the wheels of this bus are going to fall apart pretty soon,
Yeah, but you had a long layoff though too. You had years where you were like retired. So
yeah,
and you've never really, I mean, you've been rocked in fights, but you've never been like, I mean, as far as I know, out cold.
No, yeah, never been knocked out. So
that could help you. Now, as far as coaching styles, it seemed like McGregor was teaching things that really only work for him. Whereas like Chandler was teaching basics. Was I right in that perception, or was that just what they showed on the television?
I mean, some of their guys seem to like working with him. Like they would come back and sometimes they would like the practices and say, oh yeah, we learned some cool stuff today. Other times they'd be frustrated because they would cancel practices, or they would, McGregor we didn't understand why at the time, but he kept canceling their team's evening practice, and he would say, I'm coming to the house to do a workout. And then we figured it out. Every time he came to the house to do a workout, he was there to sell one of his products. So like it would be like "Oh, you're sore? Here's some Tidal cream, or here's some protein." And it was like he did it 4 times, and every time,
like on camera or off camera, he was selling them.
On camera. It was like the purpose of it was that he could promote whatever the product was. And like we figured it out eventually, like, oh, he's just doing this to like have a little shine on each of his products at different times in the show. So it wasn't like in the best interest of the fight. And the guys would get mad and be like, oh, we got another Aerodyne workout when I need to be in a gym training, you know? So.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I mean, McGregor, it's sad because we've seen this story so many times of the guy who has like unlimited potential, gets too big, too many yes men, and then it's over. It's over, and you're like, man, this could have been so great. And man,
yeah.
I mean, hopefully,
yeah, I think he's at the point.
Yeah,
doesn't get like that.
Hopefully, O'Malley's taking notes because it seems like he could very well have the same type of like. All of a sudden, he's this megastar, got all these followers, all these yes men. He's doing very unconventional things to get there. And hopefully he just stays in the gym and keeps the same people around him. And because I would hate to see that happen to him, to Sean O'Malley.
He seems to have the same crew, you know, like him and his coach, it's like his best friend.
Yeah, Tim.
And they seem to be like a tight little crew where, you know, but McGregor seemed like that too back in the day with Kavanaugh, you know, so who knows?
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I was watching, and then also it seemed like a great idea in theory of you get guys that are never been in the UFC versus guys looking for their second chance, and then you realize really quickly, oh shit, like these guys were in the UFC for a reason. And these other guys may have not been in the UFC for a reason. And it seemed like every fight was a mismatch on top of having McGregor as the coach, which was crazy.
Yeah, but all that criticism, like, this show's stupid because the veterans obviously should kill these prospects. But then my next question would be like, what do you think happens when you get signed to the UFC for the first time? They're probably going to give you someone who is a UFC veteran, someone who has had UFC fights. You know what I mean? And even that did you see that Landon Quinones kid fight this last week?
Yeah.
He looked pretty solid. That guy was pretty good. He fought and he did okay. Like he fought tough and like it was a relatively close fight. And he went out and got, submitted in 30 seconds on the show. So
right. No, you're right. But it also seemed like a lot of those guys like didn't get past the contender. A lot of those prospects.
Well, and another reason that was interesting was some of the prospects were as old as the veterans.
Yeah,
like there was older the oldest guy in the house was a prospect.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
I like the kid that won, the one prospect that finally won. Kid from
Rico?
Boston. Yeah, I like Rico. He seemed like a good guy.
He's your like prototypical Boston kind of attitude, but he was a good guy. But after I beat him, he got super drunk, and he was so annoying.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of that show was like there was one kid that was on the show that was like, "I'm the greatest in the world, and I'm the this and I'm that," and then he lost, and he's like, "I gotta learn jujitsu," and I'm like, which kid was that? I was like,
that was Landon.
I'm like, wait, now you have to learn. Like, maybe you should have known. Nobody told you. And then they were like, yeah, I think if you want to get to this level, you have to be good at things. Like what the fuck am I like? that was crazy. That was so weird. But and then people kept trying to fight McGregor on the show. That was kind of funny. There were guys on your team that kept like trying to step to McGregor, which is awesome. Yeah.
Well, he was just talking shit, and
yeah.
Like I wasn't afraid of Connor any more than anyone else. I don't know.
How was Ryan Bader to work with?
Dude, he was so funny. Such a good guy. When I hurt myself, I tore my MCL and couldn't train for the rest of the show and had to just Bader saved me, man. He gave me all these workouts to do on the Aerodyne bike, like to keep my cardio up. And they actually saved me because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to do a lot of cardio. So he had all these cool workouts for me. He'd write them out for me and show me them. So he's got a big fight in San Diego. I'm thinking about going down for it.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He seems like a really good dude. Like he just seems like a solid. Just
If you don't follow his Instagram, his meme game is pretty funny.
Oh, he's super
like
right,
the stuff
right?
he shares.
Super Republican.
Maybe, but that's not really what I get. He has some fun. He just shares funny ass stuff. It's what makes me laugh.
He's got a hot wife too. His wife's like she's like a cowgirl, one of these like Arizona fit girls with blonde hair that always hang out with other Arizona girls. It's just there's like a whole, I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so Cody, whole thing. So Cody, so all right. So where can people follow you? Where can people support you?
Just Instagram, Twitter. I try to make a TikTok, but I don't understand it. Like I don't understand like what, like I don't see the appeal.
It's not bad because I'm on for some reason I'm on 80s wrestling TikTok. So all I get like are Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man videos and like
those are fun to see from time to time.
Yeah, like when wrestlers things gone wrong or just some crazy shit. So that like, or I'm on bad movies. I'm on my TikTok is Tubi movies, which are like awfully acted and like you could hear the guy say action before the scene. Yeah. Anyway, well, I hope the surgeries go well. Thanks for coming and talking to me, and congrats on everything, bro. Really proud of you.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate it, man. Always love listening to you. So good chat.
Cody. Take care, brother.
Later, dude.